Let's start with the promise. DemoWeaver turns a running web app into a professionally narrated product walkthrough, without the usual pain of re-recording after every UI change. The key is trust, AI reasons. The browser keeps it honest. So instead of relying on guesswork to decide what to show, DemoWeaver is set up as a pipeline that can confirm the real interface before it captures anything for your video. If you're responsible for recurring demo content or you maintain an open source product and want updates to stay accurate, this is designed to make your walkthroughs feel like a reliable build artifact. Here's the problem DemoWeaver is built to solve. Product demos shouldn't become a recurring chore. With traditional screen recording, everything is manual. You choreograph the mouse, keep the voiceover aligned, and then, when the app updates, some click or label moves and the whole recording loses its accuracy. The page changes, the timestamps drift, and suddenly you're starting over. DemoWeaver frames walkthrough creation like software publishing: update the app, regenerate the story, and avoid hours of repetitive capture work. The workflow is intentionally simple. It's run one command. Rebuild the story. The product is analyzed again, the live interface is verified again, and only then does the browser become the camera. That ordering matters. It's how you keep the walkthrough aligned with what users actually see today, not what your last recording happened to capture. From a team perspective, this reduces rework because you can regenerate the video editorial structure based on the current app rather than negotiating with an outdated recording. Now let's unpack the trust mechanism. The pipeline starts with AI reasons. The browser keeps it honest. DemoWeaver explicitly avoids the failure mode where an AI invents a product tour and calls it done. Instead, it separates responsibilities. AI can plan what to cover, but the live browser remains the source of truth. During verification, unsupported routes and visual targets are dropped before recording, so the final walkthrough reflects what actually exists in the app: no phantom navigation, no invented screens. This is the difference between an AI-generated walkthrough and a browser-verified product demo. If you want to understand why the output is browser-verified, focus on the browser verifier step. It checks AI plan routes and visual targets against the real interface using Playwright, and it treats the browser as the source of truth. In other words, even if the planning layer suggests a path, the verification layer decides what's safe to capture. And when something can't be verified, like a route that doesn't exist, the scene is removed before recording. That's how you get walkthroughs that hold up when your users click where the video says they can. Under the hood, the pipeline is organized as a sequence of roles that mirror how a good demo is produced. A product analyst understands what matters, then a feature architect structures real capabilities into a walkthrough plan. The script writer turns that plan into natural narration and chapter structure, and the visual director assigns what should be shown for each beat, so the camera guidance tracks the story. Finally, browser verifier confirms what's actually reachable and visible. Only after that does the director move into capture and rendering, producing a walkthrough that's aligned to the live app and ready to publish without hand-editing the editorial layer. Let's talk about outputs, because the goal isn't a single screen recording, it's a publishing package. DemoWeaver generates the video and the editorial extras together. You get the walkthrough video, an SRT file for subtitles, and YouTube-ready chapter assets with validated timestamps. It also prepares a publish-ready description and title variants, plus machine-readable timeline data so the editing decisions remain consistent. The practical result is that your team doesn't rebuild the whole storytelling layer every time the UI shifts. Instead, you regenerate the package from the current app and publish with confidence. To build confidence in end-to-end automation, DemoWeaver includes a self-demo proof. It's described as the repo you're looking at can record this page itself. In practice, that means the system scans its own repository, generates a walkthrough plan, verifies browser claims, and records the result so you can see the whole workflow working in the same environment. The page also emphasizes the safety boundary around source scan. It's read-only, and obvious secrets are scrubbed before being used for reasoning. The headline takeaway is simple: AI proposes browser verifies director records, and the output includes video plus subtitles and the publishing artifacts. Right below the proof, you can see the staged flow spelled out in a terminal-style block. It guides you through the steps: scan source scan, then AI planning, followed by verify browser verified. Once those checks are in place, it renders and outputs a YouTube package-ready result. What's compelling here is not just that it works once, but that it's structured as a repeatable process: one repo, one command, one self-generated demo. That's exactly the kind of repeatability you want when product teams need walkthroughs to stay current as the app evolves. One last piece: DemoWeaver uses a reasoning layer powered by Pollinations Gen. The page notes it uses the current keybase gen.pollinations.ai/v1 API as the reasoning layer, while keeping the rest of the workflow: browser verification, capture, rendering, and packaging open source and local first. So even though the thinking is delegated to an external reasoning API, the trust model remains browser verified. That's consistent with what we saw earlier. AI proposes, the browser verifies, and the director records what the live interface supports.